Well, Danny, as always, let's start with team news. I won't push you on details, but I know it was a pretty improvised team selection that you put out against Leeds United at the weekend. Do we expect to see roughly the same?
I think the group will be similar. We're confident that we might be able to add one or two to that group, but we will leave it back to the last minute to make our final decisions.
I was going to ask you, are you able to welcome anyone back?
Well, we're confident that we will be able to bring one or two back, but like I said, for us, with our previous game only being Saturday, we'll try to give ourselves the longest possible time we can before making that decision.
Do you know who they are, who you'll be able to welcome back? Is Lewis O'Brien one of those? Alex Pritchard maybe?
No, we're aware of the group that's travelling this afternoon to Charlton, but we won't want to give Charlton too much help in their oppositional analysis work. So we'll keep those details close to ourselves. But no, we've got a group that are travelling down this afternoon. We're going by train, and then we'll pick the coach up and make our way into South London.
Just on those players wholly that weren't available, I know that you were pushed towards the end after speaking to us after the Leeds game about the situations as to why they were unavailable, and you were saying, these are players that are unavailable for selection. Do we assume then that those players that fall into that category remain unavailable for selection for the game at Charlton?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So let's look ahead to Charlton and them as a team, as a challenge, as a prospect. How do you view them?
I think they've had a fantastic period under Lee Bowyer. Obviously getting a brilliant promotion at Wembley, probably the best way to get promoted through the playoffs at Wembley, particularly the way they did it against a strong Sunderland team. Off the back of that promotion, they got that bounce that you often see in promotion teams. And they started the season fantastically well. I think we're second in September. Probably a little bit like ourselves, have had a lot of injuries and things go against them. And I know that they've endured a tough period recently, but they've got a character about them, a determination. They're a together group. They've flitted between formations. They've played the 3-5-2 formation. They've played the diamond formation, and probably they would have been on a real crest of a wave in early sort of August, early September, and unfortunately for whatever reason they've picked up some injuries, and that's made it difficult for them recently. But like I said, you can see the characteristics of their team, real togetherness, and we know that it's going to be a really tough game come Tuesday night.
Yeah, you can draw quite a few similarities, can't you, between how their season's panned out and how yours has to a certain extent. Looking at the context of the table, is it too early in the season to start looking at games and saying these are potential 6-pointers later down the line?
I think for us, it's always the process that we look for. So it's the process that we're currently in is to try to be adaptable. I thought that the players did really, really well on Saturday when you consider the circumstances, and when you change the personnel, when you change the formation and you change the style, you're asking for the players to make an awful lot of adaptations. And I thought that they were really flexible in their thinking, and I thought that they adapted superbly well. Again, we come to Tuesday night, a different team, a different proposition, and we are still going to have to adapt. We can't quite get to where we want to be at the moment, but this is the challenge that we have, and we're going to try to find the very best way of playing for the group that we have available. We understand that it's a tough moment, but we are doing our very best collectively to try to navigate through this situation.
You certainly had to adapt in the derby on Saturday. Yes, it won't be the result that you wanted out of it, but you must have been able to take some positives about the character and the fight shown from your players, particularly in the first half.
I was proud of the players. I was proud of the players' efforts. I thought first half we disrupted a really good Leeds United team. I thought we had the lion's share of territory and certainly had the better chances. Second half, the goal hurt us. We probably didn't press as well as we had done in the first half, and that, particularly after you concede, you have to then be a little bit more aggressive in your offensive play, and that does leave you open to Leeds and their counter-attack qualities. We created really good chances in the second half, and on another day we'll take those chances. But I'll always see the best in the players, you look at our players. You look at Josh Cromer coming in for his first start. Didi coming in for his first start. I thought they acquitted themselves really, really well. I look at people like Ketcher, and of course, if you want to see the negatives and see the chance that he missed, but what about all the good work that he put in and how hard he worked for the team, and the fact that chance that he did miss, he pretty much created on his own with a lung busting run down the middle of the pitch. So. He did great in that early period, and it got out to Josh, and Josh fantastic feet and a good cross, and he wasn't able to take the chance. But for me, it's I'm a pretty simple man. We ask for the players to show a huge amount of work ethic, a determination, and a desire, and to play within the structure of the team tactically. And if they do those things, then I know over time we will accumulate the results that we need to get us through this position.
Were you able to learn?